time when ZANU PF Poliburo was in session, I indicated that most of the details of what exactly was discussed within the secret corridors of ZANU PF is going to begin to come out as time goes on. And guess what? There is actually an exclusive news that have actually broken out on what transpired during that particular Politburo meeting. We know that Kudawashe Takure was chased, that's another issue. But the other issue that transpired, apparently there were two ZANU PF officials which were appointed to actually begin the process of implementing the resolution number 1 that was passed during the Bulawayo ZANU PF conference. In fact, these two individuals should make it possible for Emmerson Tambutso Mnangagwa to remain the president of Zimbabwe up to 2030. So a resolution has already been made during that particular Politburo meeting. Greetings and welcome on your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we film live, guess what, you become the very first one to watch us. So the news that are coming through on our desk is that ZANU PF Poliburo, which was held on the 2nd of July 2025, a very dramatic Poliburo, actually appointed two ZANU PF officials, and this is the ZANU PF Secretary for Legal Affairs, that is Patrick Chinamasa, as well as Justice Minister Ziambi, to work on a roadmap to implement its conditions 2030 2030 actually mantra, or in fact to amend the constitution so that Emmerson Tambutso Mnangagwa would be allowed to be the president up to 2030. Now that if that actually is to be entertained, this will see the ZANU PF amending section 91.2 of the constitution, which currently limits a president to 2 5-year terms, and also amending section 328(7). This section bars a sitting president from benefiting from changes to term limit provisions. Now, the Constitution clearly clarifies, these matters, that even though the nation may decide to say, let's get rid of actually the 2-term limits, the incumbent does not benefit. So, if I told you that those 3 meetings that ZANU PF actually convened, that was the Politburo, the Central Committee, as well as also the NCA, those decisions that were going to be made during those meetings. So it has become clear that the decisions that were made was that Patrick Chinamasa, as well as the Minister of Justice and Parliamentary Affairs, Ziambi, be entrusted with the responsibility to work on a roadmap to ensure that Emmerson Tambutso Mnangagwa remains the president up to 2030. This is a very, very contentious, actually, decision that ZANU PF has made. Now, what does this then leaves a retired General Chwenga faction to? That's why I think I've been predicting these things, that ZANU PF is at a record highly divided at the moment. Now that that decision has been made, already we are told that, remember, they are running out of time, especially if they are going to actually constitutionally implement those decisions, or come up with the bill to change the constitution, because there will be a need for two separate referendums, especially if the constitution is properly adhered to. But also these two individuals were further tasked to look at other loopholes of the constitution that will see them actually neglecting the constitutional way of amending the constitution. So they will use, in this regard, their numbers in parliament as well as Senate to make sure that Mnangagwa becomes the president up to 2030. Now, in my view, this now brings another picture. If then that's the case, then why is Mnangagwa bringing Gudawashe Takwirei on the picture? Now, there is high probability that Justice Minister Ziambi, as well as Secretary for Legal Affairs within ZANU PF, that is Patrick Chinamasa, may actually push for a referendum, maybe just a single referendum. And then when there is a referendum, Gudawashe Takwirei, as the right-hand man of Emmerson Tambutso Mnangagwa, they may do one referendum. And then Mnangagwa tip Gudawashe Takwirei to contest Chiwenga during the next coming ZANU PF Congress. And if Takwirei wins, then Takwirei can actually hold this position for Emmerson Tambutso Mnangagwa, because the constitution says he cannot benefit. Maybe when Gudawashe Takwirei is the president, then he can eventually change the constitution to allow Mnangagwa to come back. This is another school of thought. We don't know exactly what is in the mind of the faction of Emmerson Tambutso Mnangagwa, but caption this: in spite of them doing this, if then this is the case, as we have been reliably informed, then ZANU PF is at a disastrous phase at the moment. It means tensions. We are going to see, already maybe they have started behind the scenes. You can see the behavior of Emmerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. Gudawashe Takwirei was refused from the Central Committee by Chiwenga. And also the mere fact that after the Politburo, Chiwenga acted in such a manner, it shows you that going into the Central Committee, the temperatures were high as a result of what may have transpired in the Politburo. That is to appoint these two gentlemen, that is Patrick Chinamasa as well as Ziambi. Already, and Chiwenga actually chasing away Gudawashe Takwirei was a warning shot to Emmerson Tambutso Mnangagwa that what you are doing at the moment, you are playing with fire. I think if that's the case, the red line have been totally crossed. And there is absolutely a high probability that as we are speaking at the moment, because of escalating tensions, anything from now is actually possible. Anything is possible. You are bound to see physical confrontations. Already we are seeing different instructions given to ZANU PF officials to do, and different directives being given, especially by Patrick Chinamasa. I think the main who is under pressure at the moment within ZANU PF, it is none other than Patrick Chinamasa, because that's why you see they are actually putting him at a delicate position to say, change the constitution. We know what he said last time, and definitely is also being instructed by the other faction. That is why you will see him writing a memo and then retract that memo, write another one. That on its own shows you that we have got a ZANU PF that if we're likening it to a singing choir, it is singing in different tunes. and they are actually two choir instructors within one choir, and you expect that choir to be successful, there is absolutely no way it can be successful. So in my view, this has to happen, and I have said that at the moment what we are waiting for to see succession actually taking place within ZANU PF, we are waiting for that trigger moment, and you will see things will eventually get happening. And the mere fact, some people are saying, why then is Blessed Geza keeping quiet, and we hear the false prophets now taking chances? You know, it is actually the fate of Africa. Blessed Geza has said before they used to unpack their plans on what they will do. Now they would not do so. So there is high probability that already a plan is known on what to do, and what they are waiting for is that trigger moment. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, guess what, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the subscribe plus button and be part of our members or the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Also take note, we are available on X, formerly Twitter. Look for us. We are Hlonipani Global News. We are also available on Facebook as Hlonipani Global News. You can also connect with me directly from these platforms by inboxing. I promise you that you cannot take than 48 hours without me responding. I will definitely respond to you because of the nature of my activities. That's why sometimes I'm saying 48 hours, but definitely I always respond and make sure that I deliver. Thank you very much once again. We have Valisa. Please take note. I see people are complaining on that other story. I made another story to indicate that the fact that Kembo Mohati was actually retired, that story was fake. There was a communication which was fake. Unfortunately, we relied on that communication, but I did another video to actually convey that message. Thank you very much.